Happy enough. My grandpa's favorite place in the world was the Dead Sea. No, not that one. The Dead Sea of Canada. He was a down-home carpenter from the prairies, so the best he could afford was a drive to the western edge of the province of Saskatchewan to Manitou Lake, which was a mineral spring. In the day, he could defy gravity for hours, stretch his legs and arms out on the buoyant surface of the saltwater lake like a human balloon. But then as the sun set, he could saunter over to the lakefront's dance hall, the fabulously and appropriately named Danceland. It was packed 7 nights a week. And there my grandpa was able to feel the pull of the full orchestra playing and enjoy another gravity-defying experience. A performance dance floor made in 1928 with horsehair pads placed under a shining maple floor. Probably the only one left in the world because, well, that's a strange combo. But in the middle of nowhere, completely content, he didn't just dance all night, he sailed. To be honest, that all sounds incredibly fun to me. But if I were to scan a top 100 things to do before you die list, I doubt that driving to rural Saskatchewan to go swimming in salt and dance on animal hair would appear. Not everyone's dream is Danceland. But I can't barely write the word without an exclamation point. Danceland. In fact, our culture has become enamored with a narrow set of criteria about what constitutes a big moment. If you're an aspiring social media star in California, you'll need to be photographed in a crown of flowers at Coachella. If you're visiting the Grand Canyon, who but security can pull your spandex body in a yoga pose from teetering on the edge of a cliff? You might be smiling astride a camel in front of the pyramids or throwing yourself out of a plane with a strong series of #skydiving, #letgo, #limitless. You did it. You won Instagram. Desire can feel like an endless hunger. But there is a feeling we get when we feel full. Contentment. And it's much harder to describe or explain. It's difficult to photograph the feeling you get looking out your window or the rush of satisfaction when you see a smiling face. Maybe you want to cherish the perfect cup of tea or get the amazing stretch after actually sleeping through the night. Most of the big moments will not seem terribly important to anyone else. They might even feel sort of awful at the time. The Apostle Paul, sitting in prison, had something rather shocking to say about being content. His friends in Philippi sent him some gifts as he waited behind bars. But Paul made a point of letting them know that with or without their presence, hungry or full, in prison or free, in wealth or poverty, his contentedness remained. This helps to put the popular verse, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," in context. Paul isn't saying he can move mountains or vanquish pain, but that he can find a kind of peace no matter the condition, good or bad, because of Christ's strength. Put in that light, it's not heroic at all. It's more like settling into the moment. Paul learned to be content. But it had nothing to do with his self-sufficiency, sheer luck, satiation, or comfort. He couldn't have known if he would ever be free or how the story would turn out in the end. Rather, his contentment came from God's presence alone. And all of us live inside of an economy of desire. Frankly, who doesn't want to go to dance land? And there will be times that feel like an endless desert, and times where we get to bob in the lake thinking about lunch. But the freedom is in knowing that when it comes to desire, you don't have to free fall to the very bottom. If everything falls apart, you might, like the Apostle Paul, feel something else entirely: contentment. You might feel strangely, weirdly okay. Sometimes we get to go to the Dead Sea. Other times, we're only in rural Saskatchewan. But the best life is the one that we can actually have, where God promises that even if there's very little to go around, there will still be big moments that feel like enough. When my mom went back to visit the place that her dad had spent his carefree days, she had her own version of Danceland. She wanted to see the local tiny Anglican church, which boasted a medieval stained glass window. After a long search for the key to unlock the church, which it turns out could be picked up by absolutely anybody at the local Radio Shack if you asked for Irene, she popped in to see what was advertised as a stunning, historical masterpiece. It wasn't. It was not a miracle window that somehow survived for over 500 years and was shipped to the New World. It was a very pretty, medium-old window. But my mom was pleased as punch anyway, because, hey, it was good enough. A blessing for the life you have. Blessed are you who hold hope with an open hand, you who try not to fix your gaze on time's far horizon or get drunk on what might yet be. And blessed are you who avoid walking too far down memory lane, getting stuck, wondering if that was as good as it gets. If you peaked or feeling resentful about all that has disappointed you before. Blessed are you who know that sometimes you need to stay right here, at least for a minute. Blessed are you who look wide-eyed, maybe timidly, at the present moment, gazing at those things that are gently, actually, within the reach of your fingertips. Blessed are you, amid the ordinary details that define what life is for you right now. And as you see them, greet them, each one, as you smile and call them by name. Everyday joys, small pleasures, birds chirping, cats cuddling, a cold glass of water, a little child calling your name, the breeze on your cheeks, the ocean's rhythm, the perfect pillow, the kindness of a friend, loves that are and were and ever will be. Maybe they seem even lovelier, even more delicious, because they become gifts offered anew. May gratitude fill you, reaching all of the spaces within you that disappointment left behind and fear has gripped. May something rise in your heart that feels like a strange new kind of contentment, because this isn't what you'd planned, but it surprises you that even here it can be good. It can be satisfying in a way that you know you can come back to, a place that can sustain you through whatever may come. Blessed are you, finding that life is good, because it is enough.